All right, guys, let's not get this review. The first one and 2. Saw I complete the square. Remember the gesture we did. Half the middle, square it, add to both sides. I'm only going to make you do even numbers here. So first step, let's move that 3 over. And here we go. Half of 6 is 3. Square it. You get 9. Add that to both sides. The right-hand side is 6. The left-hand side, you can now factor like x plus 3, x plus 3. We write x plus 3 squared. 2 more steps. Square root both sides. That's x plus 3. Don't forget when you do square to the right-hand side to put your plus or minus sign. And the last step is move that 3 over, make it -3 when you move it over. And there you have it. Number 2, same kind of problem, except it's kind of already in a better shape for you because it's already got the 11 on the other side, which is awesome. Here I go again, complete the square. Half the middle, half of 18 is 9. Square, you get 81. Over here you get 81. 81 plus 11 is 92. Over here we got x plus 9. Remember, the half number always ends up in your parentheses. Now, 2 more steps. Square root both sides. X plus 9. Now, the weird thing about 92 is it actually has a square root. Okay, 92 is really 4 times 23. So I get plus or minus 2 on 23 because the square root of 4 is 2. One more step. Let's move that 9 over. Make it -9 plus or minus 2 on 23. Got it. All right, number 3, you're going to have to complete the square again. We're going to make this equation right here in vertex form like that. So there is no parentheses right now. If you need a parentheses, you got to complete the square until the vertex. So what I'm going to do, like we did this week, I'm going to group the first 2 together. That 2 is just sitting out there waiting. Now I'm going to complete the square. Half of 8 is 4 squared. You get plus 16. Now here's the difference from 1 and 2 to this one. Because I put a plus 16 over here in the parentheses, I do not want to add anything to the y. So instead of adding over there, I'm just going to subtract over here, which is exactly the same thing. All right, so what was the half? The half was 4. 2 minus 16 is -14. And guys, that's all there is to it. This takes 2 lines. Okay, so there it is. Now, you do have to tell what the vertex is. The vertex is the opposite of what's inside and exactly what's outside. And there's 3. All right, number 4 and 5 are both discriminant problems. Number 4, I'm saying it right now, number 4, this is exactly what's on your test. You just got to know this, you got to memorize it. If the discriminant is positive, if it's positive, that means you're going to get 2 solutions and they're both real, 2 real. If the discriminant is 0, you're going to get 1 solution and it's real. If it's negative, you're going to get 2 solutions, but they're both imaginary. Okay, and just think about that because that's the discriminant goes inside your radical. Okay, so number 5 is the one just like 4, so we got to do some work here. They want you to figure out what the value of the discriminant is. What is b squared minus 4ac? B is 7, so 7 squared is 49 minus 4 times 1 times 8, because that's A and C. That gives me 49 minus 32, or you could just punch the whole thing in your calculator if you want to. Get 17, there's the first answer. Now, because it's positive, you get 2 answers. What kind do you get? 2 real. That's how you fill in those blanks. Number 6 says use quadratic formula to solve this quadratic equation. So first step, it must equal 0. So I'm going to move that 14 over. Make that 22. Now, if I were you, I would do this. These are all even numbers. I would drop the 2. Make your numbers a little smaller to work with. And here we go. X equals -b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you just got to simplify that as much as you can. Okay, so inside, looks like I'm going to get 53 inside there. And you can punch that in your calculator too, if you're careful. Now, you can't break down 53. Thank goodness. That means you're done. Okay, if you can't break it down, that's awesome. All right, one more. Can't reduce this one, so I'm stuck. X equals -b, which is positive 5, plus or minus the square root b squared. If you square -5, it's 25 minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get x equals 5 plus or minus, let's see, gosh, it's going to be negative 12. Let me see what 12 times 19. Let's see. I'm punching this one in actually. 25 minus 4 times 3 times 19. Sorry about that. I'm talking while I punch my calculator. I'm getting -203, which can't be broken down. There's nothing that goes into 203, but because it's negative, don't forget to take out your I. And guys, if you can break that 203 down, you need to do it. Luckily, the 2 we did on the practice test, you didn't have to. Tomorrow on a real test, who knows? You might. Okay, number 8 says solve by factoring, which is different from just factoring. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to move the 5 over here. And I've got to factor it. Now, the only way we can factor this one is slide, divide, slide. Okay, so I'm sliding the 3 over there. If I slide the 3, that becomes a 15. Now it's easy to factor. What factors of 15 give you -2? 5 and 3. So I'm going x minus 5x plus 3. That's the slide part. Don't forget the divide part. Okay, that's the slide. Now we got to divide the same number. So I'm dividing by 3. I'm dividing by 3. Now it's up to you. You can stop right there, which is I'm going to do, and then go ahead and write my answer. Your answer is whatever makes your parentheses 0. What makes the first parentheses 0 is 5/3. That's really, 3 over 3 is really 1. So what would make that parentheses 0 would be -1. And there you have it. Number 9, it's got some eyes. This is FOIL. All right, so I'm going first, outer, inner, last. Here's my first, my outer, my inside, and my last. Now, 2 things we can do. I've got those 2 first of all. It's going to be -44. I about put 34. Now, this I squared right here. Remember, I squared is -1, which makes that -12 become +12. So I have a +12 and a 45. And if I add the 12 to the 45, I'm getting 57. And there you have it. Number 10, solve. Did this last week. Move the 81 over first. Divide by 3. By the way, -81 divided by 3 is -27. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus sign. Take out the I. But also, we got to break down that 27. 27 is 9 times 3. The square root of 9 is 3. I do not know what the square root of 3 is. It stays in. There's 10. All right, number 11 is down here also. Right there, it says factor. There's 4 terms. Anytime you factor 4 terms, you factor by grouping. So look at the first 2 terms. They have an x squared in common. Leaves an x plus 8. Look at the second 2 terms. They've got a 7 in common. All right, now, one more step. Look at this term and that term. They both have x plus 8. So that's the GCF. That leaves an x squared plus 7. And there you go. Factor by grouping. Last slide, number 12. Write a quad function in vertex form. Guys, vertex form looks like this, in case you forgot. That's what it looks like. The vertex is HK. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. The vertex is 1, 8, so you do opposite inside, exactly outside. Now, your job is to find the A. And you got to use that point to find the A, because I've asked you all year long, why does the graph pass through that point? Because it works. So I'm going to put the 4 in for the Y. I'm going to put a -1 in for the X. And I'm just going to move everything over until I get the A by itself. So I'm going to move the 8 over first. That gives me a -4. And over here, guys, I've got this. I've got an A, and I've got a -2 squared in that parentheses. And by the way, -2 squared is really 4 equals -4. If I divide both sides by 4, I get -1. So my A is -1. So here's what I get. I get -1 x minus 1 squared plus 8. That's terrible. Let me rewrite that. X minus 1 squared plus 8. And there you have it. One more, number 12. Look at the function. It says, given that function, identify it by name. That's absolute value. It's got absolute value bars. It's definitely absolute value. Graph the function. Okay, right there, it's got a -3 inside. So I'm going to shift right 3, and then got a +4 outside. Right 3, up 4. So I'm going to here. Now, also, because there's a 1 in the front of the absolute value, I'm going over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. Then I'm going to connect the dots. Right there. And then it says describe the transformation, and all you would do is this. I shifted shift right 3 and also shift up 4. And those are your transformations. All right, guys. Hope that helps. I want you to do so good tomorrow. Hope you do. Come see me if you need me. I'll see you then.